G'day everybody and welcome to the Leadership of Awesome podcast. I'm your host Dan, and today we're going to be talking about hiring and recruitment, how to get the most awesome people into your team. Check it out. So I've got to say, hiring and recruiting the right people into your team, into the organization, into your company is the most important thing that you need to get right. Now, it can take a lot of practice, it can take a lot of interviews, it can take a lot of meeting a lot of people to figure out what they're about to find the best people. But the time that you invest into doing it right is going to mean amazing outcomes, a massive difference to succeeding and achieving the goals that your team has. Now, I've got to say, do not compromise on the people that you hire. Only hire for awesome people. You have to have a no compromise approach to the people that you hire into your team or into your organization. These are the people who are going to make a difference. They're the people that have a huge impact. A whole company is just a collection of people. And so you need to be able to filter out the people who aren't going to cut it, who aren't going to contribute, who aren't going to be accelerators for everyone else and be a part of the team, collaborate, all the things. This means that there are no maybes. So if I come out of an interview and someone comes up and asks me, "Hey Dan, what did you think of this person?" I have a bit of a personal rule that if I have to explain the good attributes of someone and I'm kind of talking for 30 seconds, a minute, I stop myself and realize that I'm actually trying to talk myself into the decision to say yes. Now, this is in contrast to a different type of interview. When I come out of an interview with an awesome person, someone says to me, "Hey Dan, what did you think of this person?" I'm like, "Awesome, hire them right now." And so that is a black and white situation. One option is that you met someone awesome, they're amazing for the role, they have all the right attributes, they have the right attitude, they have the right behavior, they're absolute killer, no-brainer, absolutely awesome, get them in the role now. Whereas on the other side, if you have someone who's kind of maybe, it has to be a no. Now let's say you go through all the whole process, you think you've hired the right person, they get there, they start their work, but you realize pretty quickly they're not the right person. Now that happens. That happens. Sometimes, maybe you said yes to a maybe. Maybe you made a mistake. That's okay. That's okay. It can be fixed. But the main thing is you need to fix it. Now, if you want to learn about how to make tough decisions, we have a previous video on how to make tough decisions that we did just recently. Letting someone go is a tough decision. But if you realize, as soon as you realize that they're not the right person for the role, they're not the right person for the team, they're not the right person for the company, whatever it is, whatever reason you have, whatever you're seeing that's shooting off red flags all over the place, you need to deal with it now. Another thing to keep in mind, particularly in an interview situation, is to not be desperate. Now, sometimes you can have a role open for quite a long time. Sometimes your team might be suffering because you don't have the right person with the right skill set, the right behaviors, the right attitude in the team right now today firing. It can be hard, and the team is picking up the slack. It's a hard situation to be in, particularly if that goes on for a long time. But the thing is, you can't just say yes to someone who, kind of fits, should be good enough. Any of those kind of situations, no, it has to be a no. So, you're in an interview. The right person walks in. They're amazing. They're awesome. You're really excited. Now, you might have already decided that they're awesome in the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever it is, right? And you've still got an extra 20, 30 minutes to go. This is an opportunity for you to go into sales mode. So what happens for me, if I'm in an interview situation, I find someone awesome, I'm usually picking it up fairly quickly in the conversation. As soon as I realize I want this person, I go to sales mode. Now, what I do is I start to sell the vision, mostly around the vision. So I start to weave in the vision. I start to weave in what the team is about, what the company is about. I try to connect it with that person so they can find a meaningful connection between the team, themselves, the company. They can see themselves in the role already, ready to go firing. I try to paint that picture for them. I try to paint the long-term goal, the impact we're going to make, the way that we're going to change customers' lives, the kind of achievements we're all going to see as a team, the way the team works together, how we collaborate, how we work together, anything like that that's going to get them excited. moving into sales mode is really important. It's also really important to sell the vision and the team and the company, even if they're not awesome, because they might come back later and be awesome. People grow. People can learn new things. I've actually had a situation once where I interviewed someone. They weren't quite a right fit for the role, so I had to knock them back in the interview stage. But an amazing thing happened from that is that they referred someone else who was a perfect fit for the role. And that kind of blew my mind at the time. I mean, I had an interview with someone, I knocked them back, but they referred their friend, they referred someone else into the role. It was incredible. But I guess I must have done a great sales job. I must have sold the vision. I must have, communicated that really well to them and they got really excited. Okay, we're going to talk about skills. I think it's easy to assess someone's skill set. I work in software, in the tech industry, software engineering. And what's interesting is, there's all these sorts of skills. Like there's all sorts of software development skills, DevOps skills, programming languages, so many different types of skills. And the thing is about technology is in 6 months' time, there'll be a whole new set of skills you have to learn. Now, look, the skills are really important. Like you need someone that's going to be able to come into the team and get the work done. Absolutely. Absolutely. The thing is though, what I tend to do is not hire for skills necessarily. Because in the tech industry in particular, software, because things change every 6 months, there's always going to be something new. In 6 months' time, there's going to be maybe a different way to do a certain task. There's going to be a different set of tools. There's going to be a different set of technologies to learn. So what I do instead, I don't hire for their skill set. Instead, I focus really closely on their attitudes, on their behaviors, on their values. Those things can tell you a lot about a person and how they can adapt to new environments. Not only adapt to new environments, but are they a continual learner? Do they continuously improve? Do they try to improve other people? Do they take the time to coach and mentor other people and teach other people? Do they share the knowledge they already have? Are they learners? Can they humble themselves to learn from somebody better than them? All of these aspects, all of these attitudes, these behaviors and these values, they are far more important qualities to hire upon. Don't worry about the skill set. Don't worry about the skill set. There's always going to be some new skills down the track that someone's got to learn. You want the people who are going to be fired up and passionate about learning that new thing when it comes along. Now look, recruiting people, hiring people is hard work. Sourcing people, finding the right people, it is hard work. Now, one thing you can do to help this along is to build a network. Now, building a network can take a long time. And I'm not talking about networking in this artificial way where you go to a whole group of strangers and meet each other and, do weird stuff. I'm talking about a situation where you're intentionally upkeeping relationships with people you've worked with before. Now, not just anyone that you've worked with before, but the awesome people you've worked with before in particular. Keeping a close relationship with them, it might just be hanging out for a coffee every now and again. It might be just giving them a call or sending them a message. Something that just keeps in touch and says, hey, what are you working on at the moment? If you hear something about the company they're working for, say, hey, I heard this is happening. What's the story? Or did this thing affect you? Or, anything to kind of keep in touch. Now, I'm not saying to do this artificially. I'm saying to do this genuine relationship building, friendship. That is building your network. And when you have those people in your network, they become the best source of talent, the best source of awesome people that you can hire into your team or into your company. You can refer them into other teams, but getting those people in the door, they're going to be a key way for you to be able to hire good people, awesome people quickly. Now, in some cases, you might not have a network with the right person for the job. So the next best thing you can do is get referrals from people in your team. If you already have awesome people in your team, they know other awesome people that they've worked with before, that they love working with. Get them to refer someone to you and continually talk about it in team meetings, talk about it in one-on-ones, talk about it with people all the time. Ask them for referrals all the time. Get them to think about who might be a good fit for the role, for the team, for the company. So look, you may have some goals as a leader that you want to achieve, that you're leading your team towards. The people are what's going to make it happen. We already know this. You're watching Leadership of Awesome. We're people-focused leaders. We're growth-minded. We're continual learners ourselves. We are looking for these people to be a part of our team. And we're there to paint the vision for them, to move them forward, to kind of help them achieve the goals. You need the right people. Getting the right people means so much as a leader. If you have people that don't fit into the team, it can consume a huge amount of energy from you, a huge amount of time. And that's time and energy you could be spending elsewhere. The ideal situation is that you've got awesome, amazing people inside your team and they are driving things forward. And they're building the momentum, they're pushing the boundaries, they're pushing the envelope. You're just helping to guide them. You're setting the vision, you're making the plan, but they are moving towards the goal autonomously. That's the kind of team that you want to set up. And so hiring is one of the most important things that you can do to start to establish that. This has been Leadership of Awesome. Thanks for watching. Keep being awesome, and we'll catch you next time.